Great. Then he'll pull out the comm link, put it on the table, slot the certified cred stick, and type a few things. Fill it with 10,000, half of the 20,000 for information, and then drop the comm link on the table before pulling another one. Drop the cred stick on the table before pulling out another data stick and dropping on the table. All the information we have, it's not really a lot. It's just a couple of locations and some pictures. Every time we wipe them out, they just come back somewhat different. So it's I mean, we've tried it a couple of times. It's just, what do you do on the third time? Do you just bomb them again? So it's what we have. It's not a lot, and it's kind of why we're hoping to hire someone else, right? Well, then, to fill you in real quick, all the rest of the group did was agree to the mission. Run.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to go ahead and open up another map. Don't copy your tokens onto it. It's just a generic map of the place.
Okay.
Alright, let's see the information. The power. The glory. The 20 dice I roll with edge on negotiations.
It's a lot.
That's right. I'm trying to imagine holding 20 d6s in my hand right now and rolling them at once. I haven't done that, not even for like a dragon fire breath attack or something. That's too many dice to roll at once.
Well, the first major bit of information is the island that the gang is based off of. And you should go ahead and see a picture whenever it loads of the island itself. It's a couple of buildings on a badly poured slab of cement with a couple of features. The little spots all around the island are machine gun emplacements. And estimates on the number of people on the island is, I think, 20 to 30, upwards of 40, depending on how everything's going. The group primarily uses a hydrofoil to attack shipments coming up and down the coast of the toxic zone. Uses sea-doos to give some extra people, and just sinks and takes whatever they want. They're essentially pirates.
Go, map loaded up for me now. I see.
They have about a half dozen sea-doos, a hover truck. It's just a skirted rubber truck with can go on land or sea. Not exactly fast, but it can carry a lot of people. They have a little penned area for some dogs. In the images you see, the dogs are just normal dogs. They're nothing like hellhounds or anything like that. They have a couple of cages, and in a couple of pictures you actually see some people in the cages. It looks like they do take prisoners. The little blacked out areas are just shitty tin buildings.
How far off the coast of Escondido is this?
This is about a mile away from the nearest coast.
Trusair is going to ask Mr. Johnson, what is the bunny anthropomorph? Is that a toxic shaman, or is any information on that character in specific?
Very little information on him. The dossier just says a picture of him, a couple of bad pictures and then one really good picture of him shooting camera right out of the air. The information on him is basically just admittedly guesswork. It's Surge, 3rd class. They know he's magically active. They don't know any details about his abilities. He seems to be a summoner. He deals with spirits. Assumed he's toxic. Don't know details about that. Profile includes that he's batshit insane. In their dealings with him, he seems to have enjoyed blowing things up, and he's actually taken out a lot of their heavy weaponry. He's a competent, apparently charismatic. I mean, looking at him, you don't see charisma, but maybe magically charismatic. It's something that doesn't pass through tech. Because there's a couple of images of the rest of the gang basically swooning over him.
Okay. Alright, this is the next question. And I was actually thinking about asking this before the session started, or sometime during the week, and it just so happens that it came up now. What does my character know about, or, I mean, it's possible that he may have read it before, or at least have some knowledge of particular things that might apply to him as an awakened character. What does he know about Dunkelzahn's will? The reason why I ask is that I know from an out-of-character perspective, and my character might know as well, I'm not sure, that there was a sort of like a set-aside sort of possible reward for not only just blood mages, but if a toxic mage could be captured alive and delivered to the Foundation as well. Truesayer certainly doesn't think it's going to be possible, and if it is, it's just going to be like a shot in the dark, even if he knows. But I didn't know whether he would have any sort of information about whether there is like that huge standing reward that the Draco Foundation in theory offers if somehow you can capture one alive. Theoretically.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the will was made public knowledge. Do you have any knowledges that would apply?
Oh.
History?
I got history, yeah.
I'm gonna say it's because history is just sort of broad knowledge, and this is something very specific. I'm gonna say it's fairly recent. It's prone to him. I'm gonna say a threshold 3.
All right.
And just the history dice.
Let's see. All right. It's North American. Would that apply?
Yeah, your North American bonus will apply. It's
All right.
Still threshold 3.
All right. Let me go ahead and take a look. It's in a book.
8 dice. He's read his uncle's will probably once. He doesn't remember anything about something specific about toxic. I mean, it was just skimming it. It's a pretty big will. I mean, he's a dragon. He's got a lot of stuff to deal with.
Right, like some sort of like after like the 57th entry, it's kind of like, they were promised the antique piece of some sort of chess set. That's all right. Thought I'd ask.
If Truthsayer is done, Coyote's going to chime in with a question or two.
Go ahead, chime in.
He'll say, girl with a flamethrower, she with you or was she with them?
You never saw the girl with the flamethrower. Did Truthsayer mention it? Oh, he did.
He did. I thought I did. I thought I made that check with the optic extron. Or, yeah, the optic extron.
No, the optic extron, I'm pretty sure just saw...
oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, I thought I'd seen her, but it doesn't matter if I didn't. If Truthsayer mentioned it, then Coyote will mention it.
Yeah, Truthsayer did mention it. I forgot about that. He sort of shrugs like, oh, no. I don't remember any girl like that. That said, I wasn't got no documents. I mean, it could have been any of the number of girls, and there are indeed about a half dozen girls that are part of the gang currently. Could be any of the number of them. I don't know if they've gotten flamethrowers. I don't think it's part of their standard outfit, but I mean, they might have got a shipment of them, and we just haven't heard about it. We don't have too many clashes with them.
Kelly will nod and just stay silent after that. That was his main question.
Well, and any other questions?
We've got all the data right here, right?
Yeah, and my comm link's listed in there too. If you have anything more that I might be able to answer that might not be in there, I included everything that, or well, Maya included everything that was believed to be worth mentioning. I mean, could give you a million pictures of them from wherever, but I mean, you don't really need that, I guess. Be a bitch to go through, right? So, I mean, if you need anything more, just call.
He will nod affirmative.
Vice will nod.
Will stand up after slotting that data bit so that he could have that information. He'll slowly walk out of the wage slave place that is soon to be burned.
Twitch will walk out less slowly.
Vice is already on his motorcycle.
Cody will hang back a little bit. He'll glance at the man and say, "Sure is a shame about your car. It was pretty." And then he'll walk out.
He'll, as you're going to say, don't worry, but always buy a new one. Good luck. And he'll close the door behind you as he'll leave the apartment.
Trusair is going to take a picture of the bunny anthropomorph. He's going to put it in a message, and he's going to type this to Nohemi Cristello. He's going to say, he's just going to have, like, the first thing that she'll see if she opens the message will be the picture of the bunny anthropomorph, like the few other images, and you'll ask below that, can toxic shaman turn themselves into rabbits? Question mark. And followed by, right below that, I knew I should have asked you for that toxic shaman no soft, and then send it to her.
It'll be a little while before you get a response.
Trusair just wanted to send that message. It's not imperative. He just wanted to ask.
So, what's the plan?
I don't know.
There are 2 locations listed of importance, and I've actually marked them on the overworld map. They're down south.
Trusair slides his glasses off long enough to rub his gloved hand over his face and say, well, for starters, we're going to be heading back down to Escondido. For second, there's not a whole lot of people we're going to talk to for any information about the toxic zone. At least not here. We're going to have to travel south anyway to find any information at all, which is going to put us on the border with Asland, and it's going to put us in the toxic environment, which, and Trusair will give a look towards Vice. If you're unfamiliar with being down there, there's going to be some interference.
Vice will frown at that.
To clarify, rules-wise, you'll be losing 1 to 2 points of magic depending on where exactly you are, and you'll be able to choose what of your adept abilities are degraded because of that.
Background count with the Trusair is intimately familiar with, having just been there a few weeks ago. And it's something that Vice would at least know about as well, given the quirky, magic fluctuations here in Los Angeles anyway.
Well, Vice will then ask, should I get a respirator or something? Maybe a Geiger counter?
Don't think the Geiger counter is necessary, because we're going to be walking near toxicity anyway. Doesn't exactly have to be radiation. It's just an overwhelming malfeasance.
Just background information. The major amount of toxicity from this place is essentially a reactor blew up down here a while ago. Then it blew up again, then they cemented it over, then the twins made it blow up again. So the entire place is basically covered in radioactive sludge.
Have to be, but it is. In this particular environment.
For the most part, it's not hot enough to worry about. Unless you're going swimming, at which point, yeah, you're probably going to be shaving off days of your life just from going in the water. But unless you're actually, looking to roll around in toxic sludge, it's not enough to worry about. A Geiger counter might be nice to have for hot spots, but they're very few and very far between.
Do we know where the reactor is in relation to where these particular outposts in the island are?
I'd have to look up the information, but yeah, it's actually a modern-day real-life reactor.
It's not immediately close by to those zones where we're actually going to run into the thing as it's been exposed.
No, it's not right on top of them.
Vice's question would be, respirator's not going to save you if we make a wrong turn.
He'll shrug then.
While they're talking about that, Twitch is going to get the GPS coordinates for those two locations, send them Mr. Monday's way, and say I'd appreciate it if you could tell me if you could pick up any chatter coming out of the gangs in those areas, or if you can point me to someone who can.
What's his connection rating?
3.
Yeah, he'll immediately send you a message saying he'll immediately send you a message saying that not a lot of connection. It seems to be a lot of dead zone down there. It is a lot of dead zone down there, that is. I mean, I can look to see if there's something specific, but I can't find any connection to anything down there just sort of off the bat. Best bet would be to drop some kind of long-range connector so that I could be sure to pick up and then give me an idea of what I'm looking for.
Long-range connector, is that something I can do?
It's going to essentially just be the same thing as a comm link with a very high signal rating. Or a decent signal rating and a satellite uplink. It's just whatever's down there. It's pretty much all static zone or null zone. It's there's no real comm links down. I mean, people don't live down there. It's toxic sludge. So, I mean, the only two groups that really are down there in any force are the Aztalan and PCC armies. And it's not a lot of ability to pass through there to call up whatever's down there. It's, as far as he can see, it's just empty zone, but I mean, unless there's actually a way to make that wireless connection from item to item to connect there, he doesn't know what's there.
All right. I'll let you know if I get something in the area then.
Coyote's just sitting in his truck, waiting for everyone to stop chattering about, and he's going through like a mental checklist of what he thinks he'll need to bring on whatever they're doing, and just logistical things like that while looking at the maps.
I see Vice and Truth there still, like, bantering a bit back and forth about, stuff. I mean, that's at least what I think they're doing. Okay, I don't need to bring a respirator, but what about this?
A reactor detonated down there. You would know that better than I would. I'm new here. The fact of the matter is, that's not going to help protect you from all the radioactive toxicity either. Here's the plan. Don't swim. Able to see the astral world, Adept?
Nope.
Good. You wouldn't want to do that either.
So what's the plan? Are we gonna meet somewhere down, like, down past Fun City?
Is this to all of us or just to Truth there?
To all of us.
It'll say, well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I think the best option would be to try to scope out the outpost, and maybe I can feed a bug in there to catch some chatter and see if we can figure out when might be a good place to move in on either of the two locations. I picked the outpost because
we can, but we're not going to get anywhere either of those places without a boat. We're going to have to rent another one.
Yes.
Well, I have a Sea-Doo I can strap to the roof of my car, so that's taken care of.
And then Truce are like, just bought it.
I will nod.
I mean, the first step is finding out how they get in contact with their financier, right?
That is
finance
the
themselves by their raids on various shipping down there, particularly since both the PCC as well as technology would be interested in that. They're pirates. And no one wants to try to go in there and scour the pirates, considering where the hell they live.
Our Johnsons seem to think that they have some kind of sponsor since they keep putting themselves back together again after they get bombed out.
that is the information that he's willing to pay another 10,000. You've already received half of that for whatever groups, whether you call them financiers, sponsors. It's just some group seems to have something on them that allows them to put them back, slap them back together after they've been blown up. That's the information he wants.
In which case, we're not going to find that out up here anyway. As I said, we're going to have to go down to Escondido again.
So it seems like we have to go down there no matter what.
Vice, did you think we could complete the job here within the comforts of downtown?
Nope, just saying.
Suggestion has merit. His drones certainly proved themselves to be very whiz and capable, so I'm going to go down there and hopefully he can scour up some sort of intel and handle the situation after that.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
I can't think of anything better.
I'll pack. Trusair will pack his, incredibly stylish and eye-catching and illustrious Cyclops into Coyote's fan. Oh.
Yeah, you can't exactly take apart an Indian Pathfinder. Well, I mean, you can. Do you have all day?
I mean, the question is whether you want to put it back together again or not.
Well, Coyote's going to say, look, I got to go back to my shop and pick up the Sea-Doo anyway. If you want to leave your bike there, that's fine.
We're
Vice.
probably still going to have to rent something. Unless a Sea-Doo has a lot more seats than I think it does.
Well, Vice is like, I have a Sea-Doo as well.
But Sea-Doos are two-seaters. If you're carrying a second person, you can't carry any of your medium-sized drones.
Right. That makes sense. For this, I don't think you'd be taking all those. I mean, if it's just a recon mission anyway, he was probably not going to take everything, but yeah.
Everything in the van, and then just take what you want on the boat when you get to the shore.
Right, that's what I meant.
Alright.
So, who else has a Sea-Doo besides Coyote again? Vice, right?
Yep.
I assume you have some place to dock it, like, probably just a little rented piece of water property somewhere near Covina.
Probably.
So, you'll probably have to actually drive that all the way down.
Well, no time like the present to get it done. So I guess Vice will then get on his motorcycle and drive off to where his Sea-Doo is being kept.